listening to The Review on the OSG Sports Podcasting Network.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of The Review. It's the Online Sports Guys College Football Podcast, and yes, if you tuned in last week, you know we're back because it's, well, a couple weeks out to the season. We're going to have college football everywhere by the end of August, and gentlemen, that is a good thing. There was a lot of discussion off season though about different things, including a little minor conference juggling. We touched on that a little bit last week, but one of the things that kind of caught my attention and probably caught yours too is all the talk about changing the format of the college football playoff already after the first season. Your thoughts on that? One, they talked about expanding it, and two, they want to guarantee even more bids for the Big Ten and the SEC.
Wait, comma, no, comma, I'm shocked, ...
I mean,
Just
you know
roll
where
with it.
this is
Christ.
coming from. This is all kind of part of the old money grab, get the money while you can kind of a thing, because that is what, after all, what college football does.
Wait, comma, no, comma, ...
But if you think about it, would adding 4 more teams to the playoff make it better than it was this first season? Or is there a need to really change it after one season?
Get NIL in order, then work from there. Until you get your crap together with that, it's a non-starter.
They did put it off. They didn't make a decision over the summer, but the subject came up and there was a lot of back and forth. I mean, your thoughts on the playoff system last year, how did the three of you guys think it worked?
I'm deferring to the end. Sly, go for it.
Okay, first, I don't know if my takes are going to be coherent today. After a couple days of seeing
But
shows,
they will glow in the dark.
Yeah, I am trying to go with the theory of last year, and I have my best takes after an all-nighter, so I'll give it a go here. But
talk through the glow stick, Sly. It's okay.
And I'm not at a fish show right now either. But I thought that the playoff last year generated a lot of controversy, which was great for the sport. And it, for good or ill, identified the best team, even though it took a strange way to do it. And going to 16 is a lot cleaner. It gives more teams a chance to actually, in theory, have a chance to win the thing. But in the end, it's likely to come down to the same group of teams that are likely to win it anyway, and it'll produce more money for a lot of people involved, and it's a nice round number.
Yeah, I'm good for round numbers, but I don't want any guarantees. Make them work for it. Make them work for it. I do. The best thing about the playoffs last year for me was no noon kickoffs. We got to outlaw Fox. I mean,
even with the B1G and the B1G wanting more activity, he sits there and he gets the shot in on the B1G broadcast.
Bad enough they bring unmentionable people into their pregame show, but they've got to take the best games you would want to see at night, and you'd want to get like the most raucous atmosphere going. You have the biggest season opener. 1 versus 2, and you're going to put it at noon, so people have to
wake up.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Let the people tailgate. Let the atmosphere be as big as it can possibly be.
You can't have
let them start at a time where they can use fireworks. Jeez.
12:08.
But Marty, we're talking about the playoff. Did you like the way it played itself out in terms of the games, the first round games at home, and then kind of moving neutral site?
I really did, because I mean, you have people that comment on, like, as an Ohio State fan, people say, Ohio State's not loud, and I mean, you saw that game. That was insane.
Who said Ohio State's not loud?
Yeah.
Franklin did.
What alleged? Well,
was it a coach?
Paul Feinbaum actually said the people in the Big Ten act like they invented football. I hate to tell them about the school university of I don't know if you guys heard of Rutgers, where the first college football game was actually played. So technically, yeah, it was started here.
1857. I mean,
Yes. Speaking of Feinbaum, he had
who
a
the hell's
quote
Paul
that
Feinbaum?
made it makes that even funnier, and that's him saying, "If the Big Ten wins the championship again this year, he's leaving the country."
Stop. Well,
Nice
actually,
knowing you.
actually, tell you what. Just look. Is who had the bet where he's like, well, I'm going to do this. God, I forgot who it was. Somebody said like it was when we were growing up. Someone taunted us in television, like if something happened, then they were leaving, and then they never left. Or I forget who it was, but look.
It's like a loser leaves town match in wrestling.
Yeah, and then you come back wearing a mask, and then everybody sits there and goes, "Hey, wait a second! The Midnight Rider, you sound a lot like Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream." Hey, I know Dusty; he's a great friend of mine. Look, the CFP is what it is. It is a television product. It is a miniseries with a certain number of episodes to satisfy X number of television partners. When you expand a successful television series, which is what I would anticipate folks would admit, I think that we could all stipulate that the college football playoff was a successful television miniseries as it aired on multiple networks.
Definitely.
In December, during the coldest part of the year with the least amount of programming.
Right. So you look at it from that perspective, and that is going to be my number one perspective when it comes to this as a television miniseries. Whether the College Bowl playoff, whether it was the Fab Four, now we are where we are with the CFP. If the networks that are programming this particular program and or miniseries sit there and look at the ratings, look at the sales, look at everything being sold out, look at the inventory, and don't necessarily care about gate receipts, mind you.
Oh, they do care about gate receipts because they get a good share of that.
Then fine, if they care about that.
Pretty much a sellout regardless.
This is so, and that's where I'm going here. If you continue to have 100% accuracy with your product and 100% acceptance of your product, then what is to sit there and tell everybody who's in charge of the CFP, no, we should cap the number of episodes this miniseries has. We're fine the way we are. When you could be bringing in more revenue, you could be bringing in more home dates, you could be bringing in more ticket revenue, you could be bringing in all of the other aspects of it. I think it is an eventuality that you go to 16 and you have Team 17 argue that they should be in.
No.
Because if something is successful, then you sit there and you push your way to that edge and go, okay, 16 round number, we can work at 16, 8, 4, 2, 1, then you're fine. So I think that right now it's an eventuality. Because of the success that you have had, as long as you don't strangle the golden goose, Sly, I think you're in good shape.
You hit on the exact point I was going to mention in college basketball
Reading your notes.
In college basketball when the tournament got expanded. Now you have the 9th and 10th teams in the SEC and Big Ten getting in, who have no chance of winning the thing. But it reminds me a lot of adding teams 14 through 16 in the football playoff.
Mhm.
You're gonna have high profile teams getting in, generating a lot of money. People are going to argue which teams should get in, and all it does is perpetuate the money grab.
And shows like
And
this.
it's highly successful.
Yeah, if you can print money, they're going to keep printing money.
Why would
you
you
do it?
Why would you stop printing money? Literally.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I think that Scrooge McDuck was always happy as the pile and Cartman got happier as the money and got taller and taller and taller. Why deny Scrooge McDuck and Cartman the enjoyment that they had?
Well, I'll throw this out there. I mean, mentioned the college basketball, NCAA basketball tournament, which has gradually grown from 32 teams up to 68 teams. But they didn't do it all at once.
No.
And they didn't sit there and say, oh, wait, next season we're going to have to add more teams. And that's really the question here. Do they need to let this first 12-team playoff percolate a little bit and generate some interest before starting to add more teams to it?
When does the television contract run out? When does
they'll use that as a carrot during negotiation.
When is the window in the negotiation open? That's when you get to 16.
Yeah, when they bring it up this year, that means they're going to do it in the next year or two.
Mhm.
That's what happened last time. You know, they floated out there, they let everybody talk about it, and then all of a sudden, boom.
And I give you the other question here. If you're going to add 4 teams, part of the discussion over this summer was they want the SEC and the Big Ten want it to be their teams.
Sure. That's
They
posture.
don't want it to be the Big 12. They don't want it to be anybody from the group of five. They want their own, they want it themselves.
Yeah, because
You're splitting the revenue.
they're the
I mean,
biggest
it's okay to
they're
be
the
greedy, but I don't like it.
they're the baddest bullies on the block. I mean that's the way that this is. You've got the big defensive lineman who's wearing the Letterman jacket who knows he's going Division One. You've got the quarterback who's the pretty boy who's dating the number one cheerleader. Of course, they're going to want the highest amount of attention. The kicker and the wide receiver, they're not going to be getting all of the attention if they sit there and say, well, I want to kick more field goals. Well, no, I want to get more touches, or I'm the blocking back. I want to, I want to score a touchdown every once in a while. Now, this is the way of the world. It will eventually come down to the voting of the CFP panel, and it will eventually come down to the rankings, which mean nothing until November 1st anyway. So all of this is, and Sly, you can slap me if I'm wrong. All of this right now is just noise leading into the room to sit there and lay the groundwork for the discussions when you get to that point of trying to figure out who's going to go in, because the prettiest quarterback and the largest offensive linemen that are getting those D1 scholarships once they leave high school, they're going to make the most noise naturally.
And I have no problem with 4 SEC teams having a predetermined slot. You can make a good case in virtually every year there are going to be 4 SEC teams in the top 16.
Yeah.
The Big Ten is the problem. You can make a case that maybe there are 2 there every year in the top 16, but there's going to be a lot of a lot of consternation if a third or fourth Big Ten team get in that really have no business being there, and that's where Paul Feinbaum might be
Yeah,
broadcasting from
Are-
Central
are-
America.
But to make the counter argument to that, if you go by last year's win loss, your number 4 team in the Big Ten last year was Ohio State.
And if you are programming a television miniseries, why would you deny having a blue blood like Ohio State?
Well, they did get in.
What I'm so it's but in when you I'm saying when you get to 16, I'm saying if you had the number fours, if you have the number four of the SEC, if you have 1 through 4 in the B1G, and that number four is, if the number four is safe, fine, you guarantee that one. But if Ohio State is hanging around in there somewhere, you're going to want to have them as a part of this discussion and be a part of this mini series. That was my large.
Your number 5 team last year, Brother Sly's Fighting Illini.
Mm-hmm.
Is
Yeah.
that a team that's college football playoff worthy last season?
Probably not, but they were playing well enough by the end of the year to have gotten into the bowl game they did. Uh, yeah, that's to me, that's another thing is uh, teams may have a rough season leading. South Carolina is a good example of this. They had a rough stretch in the middle of the year. By the time the playoff came around, you could have argued that they were good enough to get in. They lost the bowl game because a lot of people
Didn't play.
playing it, and Shane Beamer lost his mind. But yeah, so it's again, already we're talking about it, and there's a lot of angles to play here, and I think it's a really interesting conversation and brings college football closer to the level of the NFL, where 12 months a year, you could have something to talk about.
Absolutely.
You take a look at the SEC last year, and you had not one, not two. You had 6 teams that finished conference at 5-3.
Mm-hmm.
All those teams can't get in. All
Yeah.
those teams can't be playoff teams. They just can't.
No,
they just shouldn't.
no, they shouldn't. But if the system gets to 16, once again, you're looking at polling and you're looking at panels, and you're going to have lobbying in a room that is going to be hermetically sealed. It's going to have glass walls, and it's going to have a very long rectangular table attached to it, where folks are going to sit there with their snacks and their finest meats and cheeses, and they're going to dicker about and figure out with their prosecco what they want to have this television program look like. Do not be surprised when you get to 16 if you still have if you still have your Go 5 representative. Obviously, you're going to have that Go 5 rep just kind of slide into the 16. It'll probably be like 12 or 13 or something like that, and they'll have to go on the road to a number 4 in the first round. But all of these things that we're going to see and talk about, do not be surprised when any of them happen, because you're going to have the Big Four from the B1G. You're going to have naturally the Big Four from the SEC. Then the Big 12-16 is going to want their piece of the action. But because of their scheduling and because of their, frankly, C+, B- conference play, where everybody's beating each other up and you're proving to maybe yourself and one or two other people that one or two of you should get in, that gets you to 10. Cinderella gets you to 11. Go 5 gets you to 12. So you're probably talking about 4 slots by the end of the discussion in the hermetically sealed conference room. Who goes in? And if you're going to fill those slots, you're going to go for the big names that are going to magically have appeared in the standings in the polling that, in November. Hey, look, there's so-and-so. Well, they had a rough start. I mean, I can see Sly's argument happening for at least one or two of those teams that would hop in magically to help drive the idea of the show.
And they're not above massaging the rankings. I mean, the people that are doing the rankings are the ones airing the games, so they're going to do what they want.
Yeah,
just like they have.
Totally a subjective thing, but I'll throw this one out there for you too. If you're going to add 4 more teams, does the group of 5 warrant a second bid?
Probably, but they may not get it. That would be logical, Phil, and that is your first problem.
Damn me.
I know. I mean, because if you look at the Go 5 and who would be coming to the table, you would be bringing in those Cinderellas. I mean, you'd be bringing in what we see out of the Mountain West and the Tupac and all those kinds of things. And there are sections of a college football audience that would love to see those kinds of things. Dude.
Us.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because we're sickos and we enjoy the idea.
That's a whole nother group. They have their own webpage and
and they have the Macoon, which is an amazing thing that would never survive a quarter in Ypsilanti.
Coaches have been wearing those at practices out there.
Eastern Michigan. Well, and we love our sickos, as we are some of them ourselves.
Yeah, think about it this way, guys. Army finished last season. They won the American Conference. They were 8-0 in the conference, 12-2 overall.
Mm-hmm.
In a 16-team tournament, do they get into the college football playoff?
Damn well should.
It's unpatriotic if they don't.
Exactly. They damn well should, because of what they've done with that program, with the resources they have. It's a hell of a story, regardless of what you think about it. I mean, Sly, for me, Army would have been a no-brainer to go in there, and they would have driven some high seed crazy in the opening round.
God, yes.
I keep thinking as you're talking about how the college basketball tournament has evolved. As you were talking, I was thinking none of this stuff is static. I mean, with realignment and everything else, if you'd have told me 20 years ago that Gonzaga would be where they are, or that the reformed Big East would be where they are right now in basketball, now you have this morphing of different teams and conferences making their way. And who's to say what the Big 12 or the Mountain West or whatever comes out of what happens west of the Mississippi in the future is going to, because some of these teams might find something and become a power in some way that we can't foresee. And yeah, Army absolutely should have gotten in, and the made for TV matchup there would have been fantastic. And there are probably other storylines could be developed in ways that we can't conceive right now.
Could you have imagined the hype? Say, Marty, I will leave TOSU out of this. The hypothetical matchup. Say Army comes in as a 12. Penn State's a 5. They have to go to Happy Valley to take on Army travels to Happy Valley to take on Penn State in the opening round of this tournament. Could you imagine the blow up that would have? I mean, legitimately, and I'm sorry early, as we're taping this, but legitimately, as I was walking through that scenario, I was getting chills with something like that. And I'm not trying to do that for hype or anything, but to see that kind of an underdog go into an environment, and I know everybody was gravitating toward SMU last year as that individual, and it took them a while to figure out where they were and what they were doing. But you get that good Cinderella in there, like an Army, and that to me is must-see fascination television coming out of the blocks.
Now, the explosion you referred to, that's the head coach just going down in flames, right? Because his playoff propensity to turtle and
Did we mention that out loud? Did we say that?
geez, I'm taking Army and whatever the spread is, I'm taking Army all day long.
Army, one possession a quarter. If they're clinical, they get 28. You take the under, and it's probably one of those third. It's probably 28, 24, 31, 28, somewhere in there, but that will have you at the edge of your seat for the entire time.
And the game takes 2 hours and 45 minutes.
Well, but then that's where all of your advertising kicks in, and you have the additional commercial breaks to get you to 3.
The mysterious timeouts late in the first half.
Yeah, wait a second. It's a 3rd and 8, and we'll be right back after this. The guy walks out with the big $1.25 staff that has the countdown clock on it. Give me Army as of 12 seed to go and raise hell with somebody, please.
Oh, man.
I would settle for them if they're going to expand. I would just getting them in as a 16 seed in a couple of years would be great.
Could you imagine Army at, say, Texas or Georgia in a 16 and a 1? Could you imagine Texas?
I'm seeing them come out of the tunnel with David Bowie. I'm afraid of Americans blasting over the PA. I
mean, seriously.
The American Conference coming in and just raising hell. I'd love that.
I mean, think about it. If Army goes to DKR, if Army goes to Sanford Stadium, or probably Mercedes-Benz because they would buy it out.
Megatron's butt.
Could you imagine just the must-see viewing and just everybody rooting against that 1 or 2 that isn't attached to that 1 or 2 ranked team? Could you imagine something like that? That would be tremendous television. We're programming it for you right now. We demand a cut.
Oh. We're going to will this into existence.
Damn right we are.
If we can imagine it, so can the people who are actually driving this thing.
I don't know about that, Sly. I think you might be giving them too much credit.
Yeah, I mean, the proposal that came up this summer that they talked about, we're looking at 4-4, 2-2, 1-3, which is 4 SEC, 4 Big Ten, 2 from the Big 12 and ACC, a group of 5, and 3 at large.
Okay, sure.
You go through and look at it like who was on the edge but didn't get in this past year.
Okay.
And you could we talked about Illinois. That's a team that could have an argument with a 10-win season last year. You could talk about in the SEC what Brother Sly talked about with South Carolina. They finished 9-4, but they were one of the strongest teams in college football the last couple of weeks of the season. Alabama didn't get into the playoff last year.
Yeah.
There were 3 SEC teams in there.
They would be a blue blood wild card personification of, if they're not in the top 4 in their conference. Obviously, you want the UAT viewing audience as a part of your early afternoon viewing, say if you're a 5-12 or a 6-11 or something like that. No, you want the Tuscaloosa audience. You want that Southeastern audience that's attached to that. You definitely do.
Yeah, but if you're not even
Probably
top 4 in your conference, kick rocks.
That's where 14, 15, and 16 come in, and that's where all of a sudden magically you see more teams coming in from those Power 5.
Yeah, but what do you do with the team that's ranked 15 or 16 doesn't fit that slotting?
Oh, so let's see. All right, hang on.
And that's the age-old argument.
Hang on. Let me see if I have the phraseology right. We looked at their strength of schedule, and it didn't quite match up with the teams that we ended up putting into those slots at 14, 15, and 16. We appreciate what they're doing as their program continues to grow and insert conference here, and their program continues to grow under insert head coach's name here. But we thought that the strength of schedule that was presented by Team 14, 15, and 16 from Power 5 conference inserted here were a better fit for this particular tournament. End of soundbite.
Oh, yes. Do
And
they
the
factor in the SEC FCS challenge that happens every November?
Oh, absolutely. Yes. Well, and I mean to
Since
fill,
we mentioned strength of schedule
yeah. Well, and to
you
fill,
can make
and
the
end of
same
season
argument for the
runs.
Big Ten too.
yeah,
Oh yeah, like Texas and Ohio State kicking off the season.
yes. I mean,
Yes, and also their games against directional schools in various northeastern
Oh
northeast states.
yeah.
yeah,
Like,
it's because
like,
we had other ones pull out.
excuse me.
Giggity.
I mean, look, Iowa State. So Sly would be in at 16. If you look at the AP top 25, if we look at the AP top 25, if we expanded it to 16, Sly's Illinois would have gone to Ohio State in the
Ooh.
16 versus 1. That would have been, sorry, Marty, cover your ears, the B1G noon kickoff. That probably would have been a kickoff because of that matchup. Then, I mean, Iowa State at 15 would have gone to South Bend. I would have been, that's an intriguing one for me. Matt Campbell signs an extension. And so, Iowa State, that would be intriguing. But if you go through, say, and then Clemson at 14, and the ACC and everything like that, one of the two slots, probably Clemson as a blue blood would work its way into the discussion, and Dabo Sweeney would lobby his way in every single week at his weekly press conference. BYU didn't get in at 13. BYU at 13 was 11-2 last year, and so BYU would have been another one of those folks that's from the outside traditionally looking in. 17 was Alabama, 18 was Miami. South Carolina was 19, Syracuse was 20, Army at 21, Missouri, UNLV, Memphis, and Colorado. So literally, if you work your way through, Army would have been your first go 5 outside the box, and that's at number 20 that didn't make it in. So that would be that's what you were staring at last year, and a team that went 12-2 and had more wins than anybody short of Boise State at number 8. So that's what you're staring at by bringing in Cinderella, something like that.
Yeah. And it goes back to the age-old argument that and problems that they've always had with the basketball tournament, and that's however many teams you have, there's always one or two teams that have an argument for being in and got left out.
Mm-hmm.
Story as
Sly.
old as time.
Yes. So, and Sly as our basketball expert that comes in and discusses college football. I mean, you see that a lot in that tournament that happens in March and April, where everybody is kvetching that so-and-so who was a 6 in their conference didn't get in, or was an 11 in their conference that didn't get in because of their strength of schedule. So, we might end up having those same kinds of discussions slam dunk when we go to 16 here in college football.
Yep. And then you go back to the scheduling where you want to manufacture your schedule to give you the best whatever statistical measurement you're using for strength of schedule to help your chance of getting in and avoid playing those teams that would be a complete nightmare. In basketball teams like
Anybody out of the
McNeese.
Colonial.
Yeah, right.
Mm.
McNeese, VCU, whoever you want to put in. And
Yeah.
there are teams out there in the college football landscape just like that would probably be avoided at all costs. So but one team that you would, when you were talking about slipping in at a 15 or 16, I'm sure if somehow the Deion Sanders like Colorado Buffaloes were anywhere close, that would be an easy one to put in there for a TV matchup.
Absolutely true, because prime moves the needle, and to have something, once again, there's that hook.
But he doesn't have the cast of characters around him anymore like he did last
But I mean, all things being equal, if the cast of characters was what it was, if he catches, if he catches all of the NIL and everybody comes in and he has that rocket ship year outside of graduating individuals, then Colorado, if they're at 17 or 18, They're right there on the cusp. And if I'm in the CFP, much like looking at Tuscaloosa, I'm going, yeah, they need to be in because of the eyeballs that they would generate. But once again, if they come in at 16, then Marty, I keep coming back to you and the horseshoe. Keon and the horseshoe in a 116.
Oh, as long as it ain't at noon.
Well, no, it probably wouldn't because of Coach Prime. It probably would be a later. It might be your prime time viewing with Coach Prime going on.
7:30
As
p.m.
long as you
kickoff.
keep Fox out of it, yeah, that's the way it should be.
Why are you knocking Sly about all this? Come on now.
That's the Fox I like. The other Fox is going downhill fast.
Fox, not so much, just because of their.
Come on, like Ohio State's biggest fan website sells shirts that says "ban noon kickoffs," and it's their top seller.
Gee, I'm shocked. So you're saying we need to get that T-shirt and we need to get the Maccoon T-shirt?
I mean, as somebody who makes money off of Peacock, I don't mind Peacock as much because at least they'll put the game in the evening like it should be.
One of the many things that helped kill the one-time Pac-12 were their move to having, 10 a.m. kickoffs.
Well,
On the East Coast.
I mean, now, thank you, Larry Scott. But I mean, now that you're a part of the B1G, and how 9 a.m. I mean, seriously, there is going to be a B1G 1,200 hours kickoff at some point this season, either at the Rose Bowl or the Mausoleum. I think, and so that is going to be like mimosas,
even in Oregon, at Oregon.
and Eugene, true, at Autzen, yeah. So, but
they're not going to want those games.
But
Oregon's the only one they're going to want.
Yeah, and so you're looking at mimosas at Autzen for the B1G 1,200 hours kickoff, and that wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing. It's just that you can't rely on it, nor should you.
And don't sell the LA shorts just because USC and UCLA are on a downward cycle. They're still a big draw.
Yeah.
And if they can get them on a primetime slot right after their pregame show, you can bet your sweet patootie they're going to be there.
It's your bippy.
Guys, I want to talk about a few other things here as we kind of lead into the season. We're only a couple of weeks out from the first game kickoff. And I bring this one to Brother John Nelson because I'm waiting to see his reaction to it.
Okay.
Report this week comes out that one of your all-time favorite coaches is eyeing a return to college football. None other than Jimbo Fisher.
Good night, everybody.
Expletive deleted. You may as well, Marty, in post, you may as well just run a bleep for about 35 or 40 seconds.
Give me more work, dude.
Despite not having to really having to work due to the fact that he got a $76 million buyout when he got fired from Texas A&M. And recently, Fisher was hired as an analyst for the ACC network. But he tells them
more people will see him
no
on the
wonder I
sidelines.
haven't seen him.
Yeah, so you got me, beat me to it. Yeah.
At age 59, Fisher is looking to get back into the game. Does somebody end up taking him on after we get to the coaching carousel season at the end of the year?
Well, I would imagine it's probably going to be somebody in a high go 5 kind of a thing. Think
your next coach at Michigan.
Marty just likes to say that. Well, you know what? He is of a how do we phrase this? He is of such a self-confident mindset. I'll phrase it that way. That he would probably send his CV to Ann Arbor like tomorrow. It's like, just for your files. I mean, literally, it's an email to the athletic director, from jimbo.fisher@gmail.com. Subject header. Thinking out loud, ... And then it's just an email with his resume attached or maybe like a headshot as the attachment underneath. And It literally, it's like he'll go on WhatsApp, thinking about you, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, something like that. That is probably what it would be, and with the self-confident nature that he eschews, and I know that's a lot of words that are good Scrabble words.
I gotta look that one up.
Yeah.
That
Spell chew.
choose, choose. He exudes it. It's the aura that is attached to his individualness.
The kids like that word.
What if you could throw Jimbo Fisher into Maction?
See, legitimately, Sly, I was thinking something like Terry Bowden, where Terry came out of retirement and then he went Maction and then Louisiana Monroe.
Yeah.
So that's what I was thinking, because
I have the perfect example for you. Clay Helton gets fired at USC. He ends up at my alma mater, Georgia Southern.
See, I just had this.
Why would you want to put that upon yourself?
I just saw Jimbo getting attacked by a raccoon in my head, and it kind of made me smile.
So here's
bitten in Ypsilanti.
Here's his quote. I'm 59 and in great shape and healthy. Had success everywhere we've ever been. The end at Texas A&M. It's unfortunate. We also had the highest ranked team they ever had there in 2020. Quarterbacks got hurt, played with the first team, third team. It was hard to get play calling guys around. Didn't pan out like we needed to, but I still love it. Sure.
That's also a great Ross Perot impression, if you want to go that direction.
I mean, and so but we have
the same height.
We have never seen Ross Perot and Jimbo Fisher in the same building. We never have. It would not surprise me if someone took a flyer. It also would not surprise me if Jimbo Fisher tried to update his LinkedIn page and send said link with updated contacts and references to the distressed assets in the Power Five, like a Michigan or a USC or something like that. If the Lincoln Riley does not pan out,
Lincoln Riley doesn't pan out,
sure. So look at your Power Five distressed assets.
Currently not,
and then go. For us, we would enjoy that gentleman.
Well, here's one for you. Say LSU has a spectacular flame out this year, and Brian Kelly get the axe and Jimbo step in.
I was going to say, did you say if or when?
It's more like when, but yeah, I mean that kind of a situation, and apparently Garrett Nussmeier is playing with patellar tendonitis, and that's never a good sign for your starting quarterback with all of.
And it's because of Nussmeier that LSU's pretty much a perennial top 5, top 8 pick by most people this coming season.
So I would anticipate that jimbo.fisher@gmail.com and his LinkedIn page are probably being updated with headshots and references and CVs that he is sending links out to all of these places that we are discussing. As much as we would like to see him in a Go 5, it would not surprise me to see him back. But for the sheer, considering how much I enjoyed his presence as a head coach, quitter. Look, he'll be back.
The one guy that makes you stop talking in mid-sentence when his name comes.
And Mike Norvell is a close second. Thank you very much. And Gus Malzahn is an offensive coordinator. To Thomas Castellanos is ranking number 3rd. And so
I can see your temples. If you're watching the video, you can see John's temples starting to pulse.
Pretty much. The number 2 and the number 3 name on that list are on the same coaching staff this year. One's got a really bad buyout, and you have a quarterback who argued with his current offensive coordinator at his first location because he wasn't being played by then the head coach, who is now his offensive coordinator at his 3rd location. That's a recipe for success, people.
Okay, here's one for you, because I'm just kind of throwing random stuff out here.
He's gone random. Lock him down.
Returning for yet another year at quarterback this year.
Fisher.
In his 2nd season at Vanderbilt, none other than perennial review favorite Diego Pavia. And he is quoted this week of telling our friend Paul Feinbaum that he's the best quarterback in America and Vandy's going to win a national title.
Look.
Yeah, really.
Look, I mean, look.
Wow.
I look at it this way. Diego Pavia is a very bad man. He is a dangerous quarterback. Do not get me wrong. If you underestimate Diego Pavia, you see what happens. I appreciate that kind of bravado because at the end of the day, what does it do? It draws attention to you, it draws attention to your program, and it draws attention to what you're trying to build in the SEC. I get it. Fine. Be that confident guy. Fantastic. They're going to be probably 7-5 again. Outside at 7-5, they might have to upset some folks if they if they upset a couple of folks.
That's what season there.
Yeah, and that's the thing. What Diego Pavia has done,
That statue over there in Vandy.
and in Las Cruces. I mean, look, the guy beat Auburn with two separate teams in back-to-back seasons, and I was there for both.
Not the challenge it used to be, though.
No, true. Do not. Yeah, and I will stipulate to that easily, and the boss will as well, considering she's an alumna. For those watching,
her facial expression's about to change on the.
Yeah, really. It'll just turn around, or she'll go upside down here.
Yeah, watch out for the fat head behind you.
Well, no. We are of like mind when it comes to Diego Pavia. Diego Pavia is not to be messed with, and for those that may not know, when New Mexico State came in for the paycheck game on the Plains. Literally, the two of us were the loudest individuals sitting there walking into Jordan-Hare Stadium going, no, you don't understand. And sure enough, knowing what we knew going in, New Mexico State gets the win, and we were like Roy Kent. Told you so, told you so, told you so. We did that for like 85,000 people. And then the next year when he comes in with Vanderbilt, same thing happens, and we're like, told you so, told you so, told you so. Look, fantastic quarterback. Great ego. That's what you want for a program like that. And look, Sly, like I said, 7-5, 8-4, but that kind of stuff is statues in Nashville now that they have completed their stadium.
And it's interesting in today's day and age that Vanderbilt is where they are. The Duke is where it is. Some of these schools you would not associate with high-level college football over the years. So, hey, they found something and go with it.
Keep finding those Go 5 pain in the ass quarterbacks. If you're Clark Lee, here's what you do. Find those Go 5 pain in the ass quarterbacks and have them come in to be a part of what you want to build at Vanderbilt. That's your hook. You've done it with Diego Pavia. Keep doing it with the next guy after Diego graduates. Go, Diego, go.
Indiana did it this year, getting the guy from South Dakota State.
I mean,
yeah. And Indiana was a pretty good
go
football
find
team.
you a jackrabbit.
Yeah.
Go find you a jackrabbit. Go to Brookings, South Dakota. Go to North Dakota State. Find those FCSers that are pains in the ass, and you will be rewarded.
Boom.
And guys, what do you say we kind of start putting a wrap on things here?
Well, considering we talked about damn Jimbo Fisher.
I couldn't resist that when I saw
I know
that.
you couldn't resist it because you wanted to see my head split open like in the movie Scanner.
John's going to walk away and go kick something.
Oh, yeah. I mean, look, Michael Ironsides was the heel in the movie Scanners. Look it up on IMDb. And
Yeah, whatever you do, do not go kick the fat head behind you.
No. Because the fat head will come back and it will do the same thing.
Give you the fat boot.
Mm-hmm.
Because no matter what I want to know is when we come back for episodes over the course of the season, is it going to be in different places around the room?
Of course it will. It's going to move on its own, and I will be shocked and surprised. Hey, what happened? I did not do that. It'll be
issue
like
a challenge to our viewers to find it.
Yeah, it'll be like, oh, right there, or right wherever. So yeah, where in the world is the fat head of the boss? That's your question.
John, it's moving.
I know. Time to go.
Look out!
We're gonna have to animate it South Park style. Hey guys.
Yeah, get the mouth moving like Thomas and Philip. Absolutely true.
Hey guys,
He's Canadian.
what's going on?
Hey guys, I hate my head coach.
Yeah, it's definitely time for us to wrap up. Thanks for sticking around, folks. We did kind of get a little goofy here toward the end,
Wait,
but that's
no,
okay.
that never happened. Never happened.
We will be back next week with one last look at some of the teams and names and players and things that will be of importance for your upcoming college football season, because we want you to be prepared to enjoy it just as much as everybody else does. So, for Brother Marty, for Brother John Fox, for Brother John Nelson, I am Brother Phil. We are the Online Sports Guys team. Thanks for listening, everybody, and we will catch you again in the next episode. Have a great week. Bye.
Please like and subscribe.